Welcome to Underqualified and Over It. I am your host, Alice, and joining me as always is Cindy.
Hello.
In this podcast, we are over-opinionated and unfortunately allowed to talk. So sit back, lower your expectations, and let's get into it.
I mean, to be fair, we only had like a minute's worth of like coffee talk before we start recording yet, so
it's okay because I can just be like,
it's fine.
at least
Or you can do what
recording
I do. Whenever we mess up anything, I just like beep and then like you know chop it up, whatever.
Exactly.
It's not that big of a deal. Sip of coffee. Shit, dude, do you need coffee?
Probably, but I don't have any flavored coffee in, and I don't drink normal coffee because it just makes me feel like I'm gonna vom.
Oh,
I don't like the taste of it.
interesting.
Really don't like the taste of
just
just regular coffee. It doesn't matter how many sugars I put in it, I need to have like some sort of flavouring in there because otherwise I'm like, nah.
Yeah.
No thanks.
I mean, that's fair. I was that way for a while whenever I was in Japan. And then for some reason, all of a sudden I just started drinking my coffee black and I don't mind it. It has been a rough couple of weeks.
Yeah.
For us both. Both of us dealing with like health issues, mental health issues, and so we're just gonna talk about that, I guess, and whatever.
I think so, yeah. So yeah, it's been kind of rough because we're both of the neurospicy variety, so we get burnout really bad. And then I've had some unfortunate passings in my family in the last few weeks, and due to like COVID and all of that sort of stuff earlier on in the last few years and stuff, I've really struggled, especially with being like ADHD and autistic. I struggle with the people side of object permanence. So I, if you're not talking to me all of the time, I kind of forget you exist. Sometimes, it's not the fact of you're less important to me. It's just a lot of the time, like especially with the stuff that I'm doing with like my job and all of that sort of stuff, and doing this podcast and all of the other creative stuff that I've been doing, I get so hyper fixated on that I forget that people exist. And it sucks. And that plays a really big ass part in when people do shuffle off their mortal coils. And it's one of them where it's like, is it the fact of I didn't talk to them too much, or I didn't go and see them, or this and that and the other, and it's really difficult. And then when you've had so much grief in such a short period of time as well, I don't really know how to process grief anymore because of having so much piled up on me all in such a short time. So I've kind of been going through small like dips and dives of like feeling good and then feeling bad and then feeling good again, and I'm just like, I don't know where anything is in my brain at the minute. So that's partially part of it. And then also I've had, this is probably going to be TMI for peoples, but it's a natural thing that happens. Yeah, we have a monthly problem, and my monthly problem came twice this month. And it's not good.
Oh, the problem.
Yeah.
Dude, okay, so that's one thing Um, I was gonna make a joke because you were going into like all of your very, very serious issues and be like, I ate a lot of sugar and I got a UTI. But
Yep,
but no, I have I I don't again. So the NHS is very different when it comes to diagnosing um with things, and it's a pain in the ass.
it is.
Um because it feels like they delete records after 6 months or something. Um but I am in the process of getting diagnosed with PCOS. And so my monthly visitor I haven't seen since Christmas, and it's March.
Jesus.
And so I'm supposed to get my blood drawn to finish the diagnosis because it came back positive. Right. So I did like all the testing to get tested for it, and they're like, yeah, it's positive, but just to make double sure, we're wanting you to come in when you're on your period to get a blood draw to then test it. And it's like, I couldn't tell you when that's going to be. And then the one time my period hit after that was during Christmas, where everybody was gone and everybody was on holiday. And I was like, well, okay, cool. So
That's
I
great.
guess I'm just waiting for the next one. So it'll be like 6 months. So they'll probably have deleted my record. So they'll probably say, no, you haven't been diagnosed with this. So if you live in the UK, even though it's annoying as shit, anytime you get any test done, get a written release and get your results, make copies of everything that you have. Because I know this because it works the same way with the VA back in the States. And so you got to get copies, hard copies of every single thing that happens to you so that if they're like, no, that didn't happen, so you don't have to get diagnosed 15 times with the same disorders, you literally have like medical files, a hard medical file for yourself backed up. Because I can't tell you how many times I had a nurse write something down on a sticky note while I was in the military. They put it in your file and it never actually gets like digitalized. So then you have to go through the process again. So anyway,
And
back to your period.
I also have that as well, being of living here since I was born. So I've moved around a few times, and every single time I have moved house and had to change my
Mhm.
doctors, my medical records have been lost. And I've moved house again, and I have to change my doctors yet again. And I know for a fact that when I get there, all of my diagnoses uh, that date back till I was probably about 16 are going to be not there anymore,
Yeah,
because that's how it
that's
always
really funny.
happens. So I will have to go back on the waiting list for my ADHD and autism diagnosis, because I've done that 3 times already. I will have to have another diagnosis for my endless Danlos syndrome and hypermobility and hyperflexibility. Luckily, that one's really easy because I'll just walk in and be like, right, listen, here is what's happening. This is what's going on. Please listen to me. I request, number one, I request a female doctor. And I will tell her exactly what's going on with my body. I'll say, I have been diagnosed with this before. I have a problem with every time I change doctors that my diagnoses just don't turn up.
Yeah.
And usually it's fine. Because I've been diagnosed with that one twice with moving houses. And that's exactly what I did last time. I just said, listen, this is what's happening. And she was really, really nice with me. Hopefully I get another nice doctor in the next surgery that I have to go to, the next GP that I have to go to. But as long as, especially being a female, if you go see a female doctor, they will listen to you more than a male doctor will. I have had so many male doctors before I had the courage to turn around and say, no, I need to speak to a female doctor because of my anatomy and all of that. I was like, I'd go in, I'd complain about all of my stuff, and I'd get, you're a hypochondriac. Yes, we'll
Yeah.
take you for the tests. And then they'd do the tests, and then they'd be like, no, there's nothing wrong with you. It's all in your head. And the vast majority of the stuff that I was complaining about was mental health problems. And of course, it's all in my head because that's where the problem is. My brain is broken. Well, it's not broken, but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
my
no.
brain runs differently to other people's brains. So therefore, what's going on? And what they'd do is they'd send me for like blood tests and stuff like that. And I'm
Mhm.
like, I don't need a blood test, my guy. If anything, send me for an MRI and see what
Mhm.
flares up in my
Yeah.
brain with
Dude,
specific
it
things.
it drives me absolutely bonkers that like they will give anesthetic to men for like the smallest simple procedures. And then for women, and again, I don't have the metrics on this. I don't know how true that actually is. I've never experienced something like that, mostly because I don't want to say that I'm a masochist, but I also am very much the type of person that's like, let's I bet you I can handle it. Because for me, I live with chronic back pain. I injured my back when I was in the military. I live with pain every single day. So anytime somebody's like, okay, this is going to be really painful. Are you ready for this? Like, I have been fine every single time. So it never occurs to me to ask for like pain relief of any kind, mostly because I also like I have family members with substance abuse issues and things like that. So I don't want to like do most of the pain management that's offered to me because I'm like I'm scared that I'm going to fall down a path that I can't climb back up from. Um but yeah, it is the amount of stories that I've heard. Did you see that story about the women's clinic on TikTok, and they were making like fun of like after doing like any sort of cervical exams or anything, they were like taking pictures with the discharge and like making fun of their clientele.
No, that's
Yeah,
disgusting.
dude.
Oh, have
It's
you heard what's
disgusting.
going on in
It's
America at the
disgusting
moment?
to do. Other than attacking Iran?
No,
No, that's all I've
other
heard.
than that. So I've been seeing quite a lot that, and I think it's happening over here as well, that there are women that are going for procedures that have nothing to do with their downstairs, right? Like somebody went in for like a heart valve putting in or something
Okay.
like that, or they went in for a keyhole surgery. They woke up and their uh,
Other
vaginal
reasons?
area was
Hmm.
shaved.
Well, okay. So there's a couple of things with that I could understand depending if it has nothing to do with the procedure, then absolutely that's obscene. Um, but if they're like needing to be around that area, they shave like people's like back hair
Yeah.
per surgery. So it would very much depend on the surgery, but if it has nothing to do with it, that is
A lot of
insane.
the ones that are coming out are above the navel surgeries.
That's
Yeah.
that's abhorrent.
Yeah. I think that's disgusting.
Wow.
Also, there's been a lot of cases of women being SA'd as well.
That I've heard of before. That's why I won't say panic attack because even though I have been diagnosed with anxiety, but I feel like there are a few words when it comes to mental health that are overused, and I feel like panic attack is
Yeah.
one of them. Um, I get very, very anxious anytime I have to go under general anesthesia for those
Yeah.
reasons. Um, it's also one of those things of like, I've heard, again, verify your own sources. I don't know if anything that we are saying is true. I don't know how reliable some of the sources we get some of this stuff is. It's very, do your own research. We are not here to educate you. We are here to entertain you. But one of the things that I've heard of happening is, do you know what a husband stitch is?
No.
Okay, so when you have a baby, um, a lot of times there will be like vaginal tearing, and you'll have to be sewn back up because while bringing a life into the world, you literally split yourself in two. And there's this thing called a husband stitch where they will sew like make your vaginal entrance like smaller, basically, just for like his pleasure kind of thing. It serves no purpose and oftentimes leads to like very painful like intercourse and things like that. And there have been people who were talking about how their husbands will ask the doctor while they're under or while they're going through the procedure or whatever, or having the baby, whatever, they will ask them to put in a husband stitch, but not tell the wife or not tell the partner or whatever. And it's like absolutely disgusting. Bear every time. Bear. I will in the woods with the bear, in the library with the candlestick and whatever else.
Yeah. Sorry, I have a complete face of utter disgust because
Yeah.
obviously men don't understand how that works, right? So
Yeah.
weirdly enough, as I was doing a little bit of washing up this afternoon, my other half and his friends, because they talk about this stuff because men, they were talking
Yeah.
about butt plugs.
Okay.
And my other half turned around and said, "Oh, well, if it's up there for about 8 hours during the day, wouldn't it like take a while for it to shrink back down?" And I went, "No." He was like, "How do you know?" I went, "Science, bitch. Seriously, man.
Somebody,
Like,
somebody did not pay attention during health class.
like, I mean, if you're using it every single day for 8 hours a day, yes. But say, for instance, that it's your first time having something inserted in that area, then yeah, what's going to happen is it'll pop out, and then the elasticity will just pop back to where it's supposed to be. And that is exactly the same when you have a baby. Yeah, it might take a while
Yeah.
because obviously that's a big thing to come out of there. Have you seen
Mm-hmm.
how big babies' heads are? They're huge.
Mm.
Like, that's one
Yeah.
of the things that I'm most scared about because I do want to have children and hopefully give birth naturally and all of that without a C-section, blah, blah, blah,
Mm-hmm.
blah, blah. But yeah, that terrifies me. And that's why as soon as I get to the hospital, like as soon as I go into labour, we are getting to the hospital as soon as possible. And as soon as I go through those doors, I'm going to go, give me all of the drugs. Because
No,
I know that
I
my pain threshold isn't great.
yeah, no, it is crazy. I've actually had conversations again when I was in the military. I was in the Marine Corps, and the Marine Corps is not known for their populace to be very intelligent. They're more just I go to the gym, I pick things up, I put them down, I do what I'm told. If you tell me to eat this soup with a fork, yes, sir, I will. And I'm not going to question anything. And there's no critical thinking in this very thick, very hard to kill skull of mine. So that's why they're cannon fodder for the most part, is because they don't question orders. But I've had literal conversations with grown men who are in their mid to late 20s saying that they will never date or marry somebody who's had sex with a African American man. I was like, why? Because I was just baffled. I was just confused because I'm walking into this conversation and I'm just like, what the fuck are you on about?
Is it because of the
And
stereotype?
it's because they think that basically the vagina will be ruined by the size. And I'm like, are you literally stupid? Apparently so, because they were serious when having this. Wasn't like a joke, we're having this like lighthearted. No, this was a very serious. And then I quickly excused myself because I did not want to be part of that conversation, and I left and I
Yeah.
went back to my post.
Honestly, the amount of stereotypes around the penis is
Yeah.
hysterical because that
Well, tale as old as time because they've been telling stories about their dicks since the beginning of time.
True. And I don't understand men's absolute like obsession with their penises. It's like they're all like, "Oh yeah, it's because like my other half, he turns around and goes, "Oh, it's because it's on the outside and it's just dangling there." I was like, "Yeah, and my boobs are there too. You don't see me just randomly holding them and giving them a jiggle every now and again. I mean, I do, but that's because boobs are great." But I mean, like I go out in public, right? And there's a guy
Mhm,
like adjusting himself, and then he'll stand there with his hand on his bits for flipping ages.
mhm,
It's not just a, oh, I just need to move that out of the way because I'm walking weird and it's caught because the
mhm.
testes are
It's not
tor-
a shifting the
torching.
leg out to the
No,
side as you're
no.
walking. Yeah, no.
It's a I'm going to adjust and then oh I'm gonna stand here and hold it for a minute. And it's just like, no, stop
I
it.
think there is a lot of mental health that goes into that in my opinion, in my unprofessional opinion, because I know that there are certain like sometimes like children when they're growing up and they're learning and like one of my friends, she has several kids and some of her kids are boys. And one of the things that she will do when they're like potty training is they'll just be running around without a diaper, without anything on. And a lot of times like the boys will grab their bits and it is a like self-soothing thing. And I wonder if there are some men that just never grow out of that. I don't know the implications behind that.
I mean, maybe.
But I just wonder if maybe it's like a self-soothing thing and it's like something that they're not actively thinking about. Like somebody who picks their nose will do it in public and then they like don't realize that that's what they're doing because it's like a self-soothing thing. So I wonder if it's similar for some men when they're doing that.
Maybe.
I have no idea.
Maybe some men can like shed some light on this
Maybe they
in the
just yeah,
comments.
shed some light. I like how our small talk went from how are you doing to oh, let's talk about mental health, butt plugs, and penises.
Yeah,
Um, that about sums up how our conversations go sometimes.
honestly. So we were gonna talk about today some like natural remedies rather than and also some like actual medicinal stuff today to do with health.
I have been waiting for weeks for this because I was struggling, like I said at the beginning, I was struggling with a UTI because I came off a diet and then of course I binged on sugar and then I wasn't drinking enough water and so then I get UTIs quite a bit. But I was like, we were like, oh, we should have an episode on like remedies and stuff. And I was like, oh, because we were talking about UTIs, and you were like, are you one of the believers in the lies of or something about like cranberry juice with UTIs? And I have been dying to hear what this is because I am a firm believer that cranberry juice paired with enough water. I usually will do like cranberry supplements. So it's not like the juice because there's a lot of sugar in the juice. But yeah, I will do that and water. And it usually seems to help clear things up. But I'm very curious what your 2 cents are on that.
Yeah, so cranberry juice does work, but you've got to be really frigging careful with cranberry juice because
Okay, why?
cranberry juice has a lot of vitamin C in it. I think it's vitamin
Oh,
C.
okay.
And if you have too much vitamin C, it is actually a diuretic.
Okay.
And not in a diuretic way of you pee more, because that confuses people. Diuretics are usually actually stuff that makes you wee more. It's not stuff that makes you poop more. But vitamin C will give you diarrhea.
Oh, interesting.
Too much vitamin C will give you diarrhea. So I had that problem where I had a UTI and I just went, do you know what? Just cranberry juice. But I like cranberry juice anyway. I love drinking
Right.
cranberry juice. I'm one of those weirdos that will just be like, yeah, cranberry juice, stunning. I like the bitter taste of it. It's very nice, very refreshing. But
Mhm.
if you have too much of it, you will be on the toilet for about 4 days. No word of a lie. Because I think I had like 4 or 5 cartons of cranberry juice in one day, and this is like,
Mhm. Oh,
yeah.
yeah, that's okay. I don't okay
But
um for my sanity, I don't know if that's the vitamin C or the fucking 4 or 5 cartons of cranberry juice because when I was doing my like health challenge diet, whatever you want to call it, one of the books that I read was a nutritional book. And one of the things they talked about was free sugars and how, especially like with juice and stuff, like orange juice, it is better to have like just have an orange than it is to have the orange juice because all orange juice is, yes, it will have some of the vitamins and things like that, but it will have significantly less than if you had just an orange. And the other thing is it will have next to no fiber. So it's what's called a free sugar.
yeah.
But cranberry juice would be the same way. Um, I it is so okay. The thing that I was pissed off about, right, was I was looking for cranberry juice, not from concentrate. Trying to find cranberry juice not from concentrate in this country, I had to order it on Amazon. I was looking for raw cranberry juice.
Ocean spray.
And we went no. That's I think Ocean Spray is from concentrate. Hold on.
Because every single time I've got cranberry juice, it's just in a carton. It's like with the orange juice and stuff like that. And if it's from concentrate, then I've been drinking cranberry juice wrong, and that's probably why I ended up having the diarrhea.
Interesting. Okay, so it might be the Ocean Spray from because it looks like they offer options. But it's oftentimes it's like no added sugar, but it's still from concentrate. Now, don't get me wrong. There is nothing wrong necessarily with something that is from concentrate because what's happened basically, again, going back to the nutrition book that I read, because I'm obviously an expert now that I've read one book, is what they do is they take the juice and they basically like boil off the water and they create this concentrate, which is then easier to like transport and all this stuff. And then they basically like think of like drying fruit out and then rehydrating it.
Oh, right, okay, fair enough.
Basically what they're doing, it is a ultra process. So it's an ultra processed food if it's from concentrate versus like if it's raw, then it's usually not an over processed, ultra processed food. And I was trying to stay away from processed foods during this whole thing.
Yeah.
So I was trying to find it from like just raw cranberry juice. And I went to like, I want to say we went to like 3 or 4 different stores. Everything that came in a carton, I looked in the refrigerated section, I looked in the mixers section, I looked in the just regular juices section. The only juices that you can find that are not from concentrate are like orange juice in this country.
Dang.
It's like that and like apple juice.
I mean, technically, we are in 2 different countries.
Well, technically we're in one country. But
actually, we're in one continent. I'm in England and you're in Scotland. 2 different countries.
the UK is not a continent, and I need you to know that.
It should
Please
be.
know that. No.
I know we're in the continent of Europe. It just doesn't make sense that like
then it can be a
yeah,
continent.
but it just doesn't make sense that multiple countries. So we have what, 4? Technically 5 because Ireland split into 2.
Well, I don't think because you have Northern Ireland, but
Yeah.
Ireland itself is not part of the UK.
Yeah, no, it's part of the UK. Northern Ireland is part of England. Is it? No, it's not.
No.
Southern Ireland
Okay.
isn't part of the UK.
Okay, you're making me think that I'm stupid, and it's like, okay, I know I'm an American, but I'm pretty sure Northern Ireland
No,
is part
Northern
of the
Ireland is part of the UK. Southern Ireland
Ireland
isn't.
just itself, because that confused the shit out of me. So so it's not really. I was actually just talking to somebody about this. So I was talking to a couple of our friends. You can cut this back in now. But one of them is from the US. One of them was born and bred UK. And I was kind of like, because I was born in the US, but I live here now, as like being the bridge between them. But one of our friends made a really good point that in the US, the separation of the countries in the UK is not really like explored thoroughly. Like it's never really pressed upon. So you think of Scotland as its own country. You think of Ireland as its own country. Same with Wales, same with England. But it's never really taught to us that they're all actually one country. Like it's only like it's a kind of the way that you guys learn about the US like Revolutionary War. It's not really touched upon. There's so much more history, so many more things that the UK was doing at the time. So the US Revolutionary War is baffling to some people in the US when they realize, oh, you guys don't really learn about it. It's like you learn about it, but you just touch on it briefly. It's kind of like us with all of the different countries. Is like we learn about it, but not to an extent where it would actually stick with us. So anyway, what are we talking about?
We were
Cranberry
supposed
juice.
to be talking about medication and natural remedies, uh, but we went on a tangent. So
Dude,
this
because
might
I
end
was
up
trying
being a
to find
long
cranberry
episode.
juice the same day that we went to go see Iron Lung. That's the day that I was trying to find cranberry juice. That's how long I've been waiting to talk to you about this.
Ah, right.
Anyway,
Yes.
I'm not overreacting.
So this might be a long episode. So what I wanted to say was how quite a lot of old natural remedies actually turned into what we have as medicine now. So we've got stuff like willow bark. And willow
Mm,
bark was used by the ancient Greeks and the Egyptians as a pain remedy. You can still
mm.
use like just natural willow bark. Just make sure that you're like going to the right place to buy such a thing. You have like your average weight and your BMI, so you can talk to them about it. So most health food shops or like not like Holland and Barrett, I don't think they have it. They might do. I don't know. Not been in one because they're bloody expensive. But if you've got like a natural remedies shop, like a little witchy shop and stuff, and they have certain herbal stuff on offer, go in there and talk to the person and they will probably be able to help you, but make sure that you've got your average weight and all of that and what your diet's like and stuff like that, because then they can be like, yeah, okay, this is the amount that you need to be taking.
So the Native Americans also use willow bark. And when I was growing up, I watched this show called Dr. Quinn. It's a Western show. But she moves out to the Colorado Territory. It's like the like right after the Civil War time frame. Um, and so one of the things I learned from that show was about the Native Americans using willow bark as a pain remedy. And I remember like I don't know why, I was really into Native American botany at the time. And my mom had a headache. And I knew which tree to go to get willow bark. And I came home, I brought it home. I pulled some bark off the tree, brought it home, boiled it, made her a tea, put a little bit of honey in it or whatever, gave it to her, and then it got rid of her headache. I was like, I don't know why you let 12-year-old me do that to you, but she did, and it worked, as
Um,
far as I know.
but the modern equivalent, which was basically they first started making it out of willow bark, but they've now turned into like using the salic acid that is found in willow bark. It's aspirin.
Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
it has very like low levels of aspirin in it, or yeah, yeah. It was very interesting. Like a lot of the Native American remedies that, because this is why I wanted to like have this conversation, because I was like thinking to myself when we were talking about this, I was like, I don't, other than the cranberry juice, I don't really know what remedies I do. And
Yeah.
then now that you brought up the willow bark, I'm like, oh yeah,
I know that one. Yeah.
I
Also,
did that.
you've got like so the stuff that's become pharmaceuticals is stuff like foxglove as well, which is digoxin.
I have no
And
idea.
that is used to treat heart failure and arrhythmias.
Mm,
But
okay.
the foxglove itself is extremely toxic if dosed wrong.
Mm,
So you're better really going for actual medical advice on that one rather than turning
yeah.
like going and like growing foxgloves and going, oh, I'm going to use this instead of that. This is where it's really important to have the differential of medicine rather than natural remedies. So,
Right.
and then we've also got poppies,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
can be turned into opioids, which is your morphine. Yet
Right.
again, go to an actual medical practitioner if you need morphine. Don't be faffing around with poppies. Don't do that. Not good
No.
for you. Plus, poppies can also, like as I said, they make opioids. So
Mhm.
yeah, don't do that.
Already an opioid epidemic going on. We don't need to add to that. It.
And I've heard that there was some people that really liked like poppy seed muffins and bagels, and they ate a
Mhm,
lot of them. And
mhm.
because they ate that like basically every single day for their breakfast, like a poppy seed bagel, and then at lunch they had a muffin, they went to work, and their work did a drugs test, and they tested positive for opioids. So just be careful how much like poppy seed bagels you're eating, guys.
Hold on. I wanna fact check that really quick.
I don't think there's enough to like fully be like, oh yes, it's like it'll mess you up, but because there was trace amounts in the bloodstream, it could pop flag up as a positive on drugs test.
Yeah, it's interesting. So I not because of you telling me that, but because I have a story that correlates to that. I wanted to fact check it really quick, and it does seem like yes, poppy seed or type baked goods or whatever can create a false positive on some drug tests. We had a guy in the when I was in the military back in band camp. Um, we had this guy who popped on a piss test, is what we would say. And he was like, "Oh, it's because I had poppy seed, like all last week, blah blah blah, whatever." And it's like interesting because it was for THC that you tested positive, and it's like with those two, that didn't go very well for him. Um, I then think he changed his story to that he got like drugged while he was out and he was drunk and somebody had given him like a pot cookie or something. I was like, it's like, okay, first of all, you changed your story. Like that's just, but the thing was, oh, anyway, I don't know if this technically, I'm not telling anybody's names or anything, but I mean, we worked at the prison, so like he couldn't go to the prison. So he was basically on like house arrest. And so it was interesting. Anyway.
But yeah, then we have cinchona bark, which is quinine, and
Okay.
that's used by indigenous South Americans.
That's quinine
Yeah,
Americans.
quinine. But that saved millions of people from malaria.
Yeah.
Also, interesting thing about that is quinine is found in tonic water, and
Okay.
because of the quinine, tonic water glows under UV light.
Oh, cool.
It really does, and it's really interesting. When I used to work in a pub, I used to show people because we had one of those UV lights to scan money to check that it was
Mhm.
real, and I was like, "Guys, check this out!" And they're like, "Oh, I don't trust that." I'm like, "Do trust it because it's just the quinine in it. It's fine."
That's so
Also,
cool.
little story from my grandmother.
Okay.
So my grandma went out drinking one night, and she was the designated driver. So she went out with friends and they were drinking. She was the designated
Right.
driver. So
Okay.
she
She
stayed.
had to clarify that because my
Yeah.
face was like, what?"
What? So she stayed on tonic water all night. But
Mhm.
because of the amount of quinine that she'd consumed, she ended up with quinine poisoning, which actually
Oh,
makes it seem like you're
no.
drunk.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awkward.
Yeah, so and she was like, I don't know what's wrong with me. I haven't had a drink all night. And she went to the doctors, and they went, "Yeah, you have quinine poisoning." She was like, "Oh, yeah, I was drinking a lot of tonic water." And they went, "Yeah, that'll do it. How many did you have?" And she was like, "I don't know, but I had a lot of them." So yeah, if you're drinking gin and tonic, don't be on gin and tonic all night, darlings, because you might
Oh,
end up with quinine poisoning.
I'm not gonna lie. There was a time in my life where gin and juice was like one of my favorite. Not this is completely unrelated, but it was one of my favorite drinks.
What else is there? So we're gonna get into the stuff that's just purely just like natural remedies. So there's stuff like elderberry. So
Mhm.
that stuff is it's not a cure, but it's like these aren't cures. These are just really good for like when you're starting to feel ill, and they'll remedy some of the stuff. But you're gonna need to add some like cold and flu medicine or
These are
whatever.
legitimate remedial.
Yeah.
Med-
So
Correct.
elderberry will help with it can shorten cold and flu duration. So elderberry like tonics and stuff like that, they're really good. Elderberry juice. I quite enjoy an elderberry like type of like elderberry flavored water, stuff like that. I quite like it. Not it's one of those tastes that's like it's strange because
Mhm.
it's a little bit like cranberry. It's bitter, but it's also
Oh,
got the sweet kick to it as well. So you're like, I don't know about this, but it's really nice. I quite enjoy it. A lot of people don't.
the only elderberry that I ever had was when my family came to visit over here. We had a peach and or no, pear and elderberry juice
Mm.
that my aunt got, and so we tried it. So that's the only elderberry I've
I
ever had.
think that Schlur do one, and also there's another one that does it, but I can't remember the name of it, and they are stunning. They're rich in antioxidants, so they're gonna
Right.
help with anything that antioxidants help with. But obviously, don't take it as a medicine. Just take it as a precautionary thing. Like if you feel like you've got a cold coming on, have some elderberry juice. See how you go. If it still worsens, then obviously kick on to the cold and flu remedies that you need. And then you've got
Mhm.
ginger. Ginger is
Mhm. Yep.
fantastic, and it's backed by so many studies of it.
Yeah.
So this stuff works for your nausea, your motion sickness, your mild inflammation. So, say for instance, you're having your womanly times of the month, get yourself some ginger tea. That's going to help with the inflammation in that area. It's also like for me as well. One of my like quite a lot of my symptoms that I have when I have this is I get mild pregnancy symptoms. So I
Mm.
have morning sickness and all of that. Like the amount of times that I've been building up to being on, and my mother has
Mhm.
turned around and gone, "You're not pregnant, are you?" And then 2 days later, she arrives, and I'm like, "Oh no, I'm not." But thanks, because it's just been the build up.
Did you ever have period party?
No,
That's something that the kids are doing nowadays.
yeah, it's strange.
I don't mind it. I think it's good that they're at least talking about it because I
Yeah,
remember
true.
when I first got mine, it was just like my mom was like, "Do you know what's happening to your body?" It's like the internet's invented. Yes, I know.
Oh, my mum's a nurse, so she was just like, "Yeah, this is what's happening." I'd had the talk before anything happened, and then I was suddenly feeling not very well, and she was like, "Oh, I know what's going on. We have everything in the house. We're ready."
Not where I'm from. Where I'm from, like any sort of bodily functions that happen during puberty is not really talked about because I come from the Bible Belt of America, so like it's very hush hush.
So if you are one of the hot girls, because hot girls have IBS.
Hot girl IBS.
Hot girls have IBS. Peppermint oil is cracking for IBS. I usually forget to do it. Also, it helps with the periodos as well because it will reduce gut spasms and it relaxes your smooth muscles as well.
Interesting. I just thought of another natural remedy that I do.
Go on.
So this is one for more of like stress relief, but lavender.
Lavender is flipping stunning. Lavender will help with going to sleep. It helps with. I'm just about to talk about another one that helps with sleep aids as well. It helps. I don't know what it is about lavender. I think it's just the smell of it. Like you can digest lavender as well. Don't digest too much lavender because you will have problems. But in like small doses, it's okay to have because like, you can have lavender cakes and lavender bread and stuff like that people have made. But if you're having a tough time going to sleep, number one, have some chamomile. Number two, get yourself in a bath that is like full of lavender like oils, and that will start bringing your like it's kind of like the mild anxiety stuff that it helps with. It'll bring down anything that's causing you problems with sleeping. It's really good.
So I can't do lavender because my husband's allergic to it, so we don't have lavender or anything anywhere. But apparently, this is just from like a cursory Google search. Apparently, it has linalool and linalool and linalool acetate, which act directly on the central nervous system to reduce anxiety, lower blood pressure, and slow down the heart rate. So interesting.
And chamomile also helps with digestive upset as well. So
yeah.
IBS girlies, chamomile tea. It'll help you get to sleep and it'll help you sort your gut out. Some stuff that is completely outrageous and absolutely useless. So these are mostly like old wives' tales and stuff on the internet that people are trying to tout that you need to stay away from. These are your snake oil salesmen that are out there. Like, do you remember? Do you remember a while ago there was what was it called? Jilly juice.
No.
Where she was touting this juice, and it was like a juice cleanse, and she was saying how it cures cancer and all of that.
Oh yeah, they made that like that dramatized that documentary on it or whatever. Apple cider vinegar.
But apple cider vinegar actually helps.
I'm talking about the show. I'm not talking about the like.
Apple cider vinegar is a different thing altogether. That can help with certain things. Again, like with all of the other natural remedies, don't have too much of it. Too much of a good thing is a bad thing.
Something that my grandma said when I was growing up that I will never forget her saying is that too much of anything can be bad. So she remember what she said to me was, I don't care if you do crack cocaine as long as you control it and it doesn't control you. I was like, okay. She was making a very extreme point.
I mean, heroin, not even once.
No. But she's like, basically, don't get yourself into something that you can't control, right? Anything can be bad. You can be addicted to like going to the gym. You can be addicted to coffee. You can be addicted you could be addicted to gambling. Like there are so many things that you can get addicted to. And so basically her mindset, because she was telling me this while we were in the casino, she's like, I know when to stop. I was like, oh, okay. And she's like, too much of anything can be bad, but as long as you control it and it doesn't control you. And I was like, oh, okay.
One of my favorite things is me and my mum often go to the bingo, and it's plastered all over, and it's like, when it stops being fun, stop.
Yeah. See, a good rule of thumb for a casino, just a real tangent real quick. Go in with 20 bucks and like leave in like an hour or when that 20 bucks is gone.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's what my grandma does. She's like, sometimes I'm here for 5 hours and sometimes I'm here for 10 minutes. I don't know. I mean, I come in with 100 bucks and I leave whenever I feel like it.
Yeah, so we've got stuff like onions in the socks.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that
So
one.
they're supposed to like suck out all of the toxins in your system. This is whole thing. On the other side of that, right, there is a frigging good one that is with a type of root vegetable. Potatoes. If you have a sunburn and you have no way of getting hold of aloe vera, potatoes. Potatoes, the starch in the potatoes will take out the sting of a sunburn.
Interesting.
It works because I've used it.
Interesting. I usually just take a really hot bath, and then because that's so painful, I don't notice the pain when I'm outside of the bath.
Because I'm one of those people.
I'm not a masochist.
So I am as white as a milk bottle most of the time, but if I go to a country where I see some sun and I'm getting a lot of the good vitamin D, not the great vitamin D, but the good vitamin D, I go a nice olive color because my dad is naturally olive skinned. We don't know where it comes from because everybody else in the family is completely like milk bottle. He's the only one of us that on a regular daily basis he looks Greek.
You guys ever do like an ancestry.com?
Don't know, but I think we should do.
He's actually part of the family.
Honestly. But yeah, another one is like detox teas. You do not need to detox your body.
Dude, that pisses me off so much because my sister's had some health issues. And she is like in the process of doing like a detox thing. And like she keeps referring to it as a detox. And I'm like, detoxes don't work. But I think there's something with this specific one that has been actually helping her create like gut biodiversity and things like that. Because she just was lacking so many nutrients. And this is like, it's not actually like detoxing as much as it's actually replacing her gut biome.
Yeah.
So to speak. And so it's completely different than what everybody else considers a detox. It's like you have organs for a reason.
Yeah.
Your organs will detox for you. You don't need to just drink cranberry juice. You don't need to just drink juice. You don't need to just drink water. You need to just eat actual food.
Yeah. And if you are having like a lack of those stuff that you need, so like for gut biome stuff, there's like yogurts that have friendly bacteria in them. And then there's stuff
kombucha.
like kombucha, and then you've got like your vitamins. If you are lacking in any of those, yes, use the supplements, but the thing is, a lot of the supplements that are out there at the moment, and I've seen a lot of it on TikTok recently. I've been scrolling through TikTok and it's like, you need this supplement. No, I don't. Have you seen my medical record? Are you my doctor? No, you are not. So I do not need those fake ass supplements. And that's what goes into.
Anytime I'm scrolling TikTok, I just see commission paid. I scroll. Just keep going.
So yeah, detox teas, but yeah, your liver detoxes, and a lot of the detox teas are like, oh yeah, it overrides your heptatic metabolism. No, it doesn't. No,
hepatic metabolism.
Yeah, that's the one. Heptatic metabolism. I can't say words. Okay, I'm dyslexic. So another one is
crazy.
That's extremely dangerous, and there was a group of individuals that was like a family, but they're not a family. It begins with a C, ends with a T. I don't know whether we can say it on the places that we are. No.
Oh, because we definitely can't say that.
CULT.
Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah.
Don't know whether we can say it, but we're going to say it anyway. That used colloidal silver every
What
single day. Yeah, colloidal silver.
fuck is that?
This is the top 6 benefits of colloidal silver. By the way, this is all a load of horse manure. So it's a product that contains tiny flakes of pure silver suspended in another liquid, which they don't actually say what it is. And it's 10% silver nanoparticles. And the benefits are antibacterial. It'll help with pink eye if you drop 2 drops in your eye. No thanks. Ear infections, it'll help with. Wound care, it'll help with. Skin health, it'll help with. And anti-inflammatory properties. No. None of that.
According to the FDA, while silver has legitimate antimicrobial, now I can't speak. It does have good properties for topical external wound dressings, but that's it.
Yeah. Do not ingest that stuff. Your skin will turn permanently blue.
That's actually crazy.
Yeah.
Fucking Blue Man Group out here. Fucking, why did you do this to me?
Yeah, nah. Also,
oh my gosh.
Essential oils. Essential oils are great, by the way. They are fantastic. If you've got it in like an oil diffuser and you're using them to like relax and stuff like that, like lavender, chamomile, all of the other good stuff. And it makes the house smell nice. Do not ingest them. Do not rub them on your skin. You can with lavender, that's fine, but as long as it's not like a proper concentrated in like oil. As long as it's like a
100%
proper
concentration.
Yeah. As long as it's an oil that's actually meant for the skin, fine. Don't do it. A lot of people say, oh, essential oils will cure cancer, it'll cure pneumonia, it'll cure this, that, and the other. Don't listen to them. Because it's all poop.
The one that I have actually used as any sort of like health thing has been like tea tree oil. And I wouldn't say that I used it when I was growing up. So sometimes there would be like an outbreak of like head lice. And one of the most effective ways to get rid of head lice was this tea tree oil shampoo. And so things like that, where it's like basically like think of it like a blemish spot treatment.
Yeah.
Like it's okay to use every now and again, but you have to make sure you're using it for a specific reason and that it actually is viable to use for that reason.
Yeah. So another thing is, unfortunately, the main usage of tea tree oil, you can't use it for anymore, which is head lice, because they've become like averse to it. They don't.
Oh,
yeah,
like a
they're
virus.
immune now.
Oh wow.
What we used to use back in the old days, because my grandma used to deal with us kids with mayonnaise. No, we used to use vinegar.
Oh, okay. Well, actually, that would work pretty well.
Yeah,
vinegar. Like, vinegar strips everything out of your hair.
Vinegar. It was just like, yep, okay, get in the kitchen. We'd have our she'd get like big tubs of vinegar, like big bottles of vinegar, because she knew that the nits were coming round. As soon as one of us came in the house scratching our heads, she was like, right, all of yous in the kitchen now, and we'd all be doused with vinegar. We'd have our hair up, and then that'd be it us for like 2 hours while the vinegar was sitting in and killing the little buggers. And then she'd have us all on the table, like raking, like with bits of paper down, raking our hair and getting them out. It was fantastic.
Wow.
We stank. And the thing is with vinegar as well is it doesn't matter how many times you bathe in that week, you're gonna smell like vinegar for about 2 weeks afterwards.
I feel like there was a point in my life where I thought vinegar worked really well for sunburns.
Probably.
I'm just like vaguely remembering that. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't abide by it now, but I also don't go in the sun very often. But one thing that vinegar for sure, if you are having like oily scalp issues, use that like before an event. It will strip all of the oil out of your hair. Just don't do it continued use, because like the thing is, you strip all of the oil out of your hair your scalp will then produce more oil because it's constantly being stripped of its
Yeah.
natural oils. So it is very stripping. If you have color treated hair, be very, very careful, but it will strip everything out of your hair. Like, I wouldn't say, like, obviously, if you have bleached hair, it's not going to get rid of the bleach. But, like, if you just have, like, really oily hair and you need a day where it's, like, not, so use that because I've done that before. Your hair will stink, but it'll be stripped.
We'll have to wrap up there.
Oh, no. Well, I mean, considering my recording is literally at an hour
Yeah.
and 5 minutes, yeah, I think it's probably time.
There's going to be a lot cut out, so it's all good. This is going to
Okay.
be a longer episode than we usually have, but hey ho, there's more of us to listen to. So,
There you go.
this has been Underqualified and Over It.
If you made it this far, that's on you.
We'll catch you next time. Bye.
Bye.